Hi, thanks for checking out my video on how I made my sharpening jig. I didn't film the construction of this part, but it's a pretty simple setup and can be done many different ways. I tapped that hole so the eye bolt can screw down to clamp the sled. That's what I'm calling it. I'm not sure if that's actually the name. You'll see once it's screwed down, the sled doesn't move. Next, I worked on the block that will be used to sharpen my bowl gouge that has an Irish or swept back grind. I started by drilling a hole for a metal rod. The metal rod will go into the block at a 45-degree angle. I set my desired depth with a piece of tape and got to drilling. Next, I found the center of the block that will be the hole the tool goes into. Since this is for my 1/2-inch bowl gouge, I started with a 1/2-inch paddle bit and drilled all the way through the block. This was a tad too snug of a fit, so I did another pass with a 9/16 paddle bit, which made a perfect fit. The last hole to drill was for the eye bolt that secures the tool in place. I set my depth so the hole goes through only the top half of the block. I then tapped that hole so the eye bolt screws in to clamp the tool in place. As you can tell, it's a tad too long, so next I cut the eye bolt to the desired size. After that, I cut the metal rod to the appropriate length. Now I test fit it all together to see if I was successful. Once I got the sled in the right position, I marked that spot on the sled with a Sharpie and designated on it which tool that spot is for. One trick I learned from the guys in my Woodturning association was to color your tool's edge with a Sharpie and turn the grinder by hand to check if you've got your angles right. I lightly sanded the sled and gave it a coat of paste wax so it slides smoothly. While the tool was in the block in the same position from when I set the sled measurements, I attached a piece of wood to my workbench based on where the block was when I set my other measurements. This works as a stopper, so I secure my tool at the same spot every time I go to sharpen it. My roughing gouge has a straight across edge, so the handle sits right in the V on the sled. I found the correct angle for that tool and marked it on the sled as well. Here I am just testing it all out. Sorry that the camera angle is missing a part of the shot.